absolutely over the moon with it. I did gently whisper on the training ground to a couple of the senior players that, it's my first game as head coach of Hull FC, my hometown club, the team I supported as a boy. Please make sure that it goes down in the history books as a win. And Beretta Fremo said, "Don't worry, coach, we'll get the win for you." Carlos was the same. So, I think there was a little bit of extra motivation for the guys, to do the right thing for the coach and get a win for me. So, I was really, really proud. And I did speak about home form, and I spoke about the importance of, putting in a good performance at home, and said if anyone comes to the KC, they've got to be in for a tough game, and they ain't going to come and get an easy win or an easy game. And we touched on being aggressive in our actions, being aggressive in the way that we played the game. And, I think you could see that we was aggressive, and the emotional side of the game, I thought was right on point, and, it didn't drop off. And I'm real proud of, obviously, the guys buying into, obviously, what I spoke to them about.
Sounds like it's a good job you did win today.
It is. I wouldn't have lived it down. Being able to, say whenever that may be, when we have grandchildren, when I head coach Hull FC, I won my first ever game at the KC Stadium. So it's something which I'll remember for a very long time.
Well, obviously the start just rattled us, 12-0 down in no time, and we couldn't really find a way back in, and the kick tries that we conceded were damaging for us all the way through the game. And yeah, disappointing. We're in a real tough situation at the moment, but we've got to find a way out of it. We play Thursday, Monday, Friday, so it ain't changing much. We've just got to keep our resolve, and I think we've got a lot of players who are working exceptionally hard. Everybody's working hard, but we've just got too many players who are not playing well. And had a couple of young bucks out there today on the wings, and they kicked the ball really effectively and scored some points in and around those young fellas. And there's no blame attached to the young fellas there. They've got some outstanding players on those edges, and they caused us a lot of trouble there. But I thought we worked hard to try and get back into the game, but they were too strong for us today, and we're not playing with a lot of confidence. That's clear, and it's understandable as well. But we just got to find a way to improve, and we've got some players who desperately need to improve their performance level.
Yeah, the scoreboard obviously, ran away from Castleford a little bit. I thought second half we took some poor options in good ball, and probably tried to chase points a little bit rather than, get into our points and execute accordingly. I really thought last week's game against Huddersfield was probably a little bit more controlled and a little bit more better. But, the scoreboard obviously today, suggests that, it was a really good performance, and it was. But there's always things that we can improve on and get better in. And, that's what we'll be looking to do leading into the Thursday game against Catalan.
You'll always hear coaches talking about, we conceded kick tries, and, we did quite a lot today, but, the tries, aren't they? And you've got to be able to defend them a little bit better. The game just turned. They were just so much better at turning little errors from us into either points or field position. And, we just, as hard as we're working, things are not going our way for different reasons at the moment. And, we've got, if you look at the I'm not making excuses. We've got Daryl Powell, James Clare, Greg Eden, Sasaya Feki, Pete Matauti, are all outside backs. And so, it's tough. We seem to be having a glut of injuries in certain positions. And today, outside backs wise, it was tough. But we just kept working, and I think it blew out a little bit more than it deserved. But and that's our biggest loss of the season by a distance. And it makes next Thursday's game against Hull KR. We're not going to get in the fall now, that's clear. But I think it's an important game for us.
He played well, did Jake? Played with a lot more control than he has probably previous, and that's something that we spoke to him about. We know he's got the talent, we know he's got ability. But working from a mental point of view with regards to his composure and playing with patience was excellent. And I thought him and Sneedy, controlled the game and the tempo of the game very, very well. There was just a couple of missed opportunities from Jake. I thought late on he probably just could have run the ball himself or gone short to Mano Mao, but he went for the wide pass to the winger. And then the one he threw to Rattle, it definitely wasn't a forward pass. That was a beautiful ball. And Rattle should have been scoring another try there. But he's a good player, and he's talented, and he's making that position his own, which is what we wanted from him.
Kicking game, for example, under pressure, when you haven't done it for a fair few weeks, is hard. And we could have kicked a little bit better today, which would have maybe changed the focus of the game. But we've got so much improvement in us, and it's really frustrating at the moment. But we can't make any excuses. We've just got to crack on with what we're doing and get better.
We're moving in the right direction. The guys are starting to really buy into obviously what we're asking of them, and they're getting a reward for those efforts off the field and those efforts from a professionalism point of view in and around the training ground. And the work that we've been doing on video and preview and review and on the training ground is beneficial to obviously the performances. And because the guys are buying in, and they're getting a reward with the wins, it makes it easier for us to continue to coach that way. The guys, confident, and we've got good belief, and there's good energy about us. We're looking forward to obviously the opportunity of going up against Catalan on Thursday. Tyler
was a standout today. Thought he was great. Defensively, I thought he really went after the opposition, and I think he's one of those players who he gets under the skin of the opposition. They want to go and belt him because he runs so hard. So there's a couple of offloads in his game as well. I thought Jack's played really well when he went to 9. And he's predominantly, he has been a 9, but I've sort of moved him into 13. I think having both positions in his armour is really good for him. So those two they've been exceptional. But I thought Adam Milner was great today. We're working hard. The boys are really, nobody wants to lose. In professional rugby league play, you don't want to lose, and it's happening to us as a team, to me as a coach, more than that I've ever experienced. And I think obviously us as a team, we're not used to losing, so it's tough for us. But I'd ask everybody to realise that we're working our backsides off, and clearly we want to win games. That's not happening for us at the moment.
The game was in the balance, and Beretta Fremo takes a kick in the cup game, and then Rattle, goes 80 metres on that occasion. And Castleford were really throwing the ball about early in that second half, and it's 24-0, and then Rattle picks off a kick, and within a blink of an eye, he's gone 90 metres and put the ball under the post, which really probably broke a little bit of that spirit that Castleford had at that moment, because 30 points, with 30 minutes of the game to go is a big margin to get back. So he's an exceptional player, Rattle. Lee unearthed the gem when he got Rattle, now let go. And Bristol are going to get a very, very competent player. But the good thing with Rattle, he's very professional, and he wants to go out on a high with Hull FC, and his performances show that it means something to him playing for this club, and he's a professional guy, and long may those performances continue.
I think we've got to keep demanding high standards from each other. We're not going to get out of it by feeling sorry for ourselves or not working hard. I think we've got to just demand high standards, and we're not training that much at the moment. I mean, our next 3 games, it's going to be one training session, team run, and then we're into games. So I think we've got to build our confidence through performance. We're not going to get it through training, and a lot of that goes on in players' heads. So I've got to make sure that I give them the right messages, and we could do with a win. I think building wins helps to build confidence, and we need to start that on Thursday. That's for sure.